Howdy, I'm Gabby the Clown, and today I'm going to be talking about Disney's Wish. I'm not going to sugarcoat it or try to lead you guys on to be funny. I genuinely hate this movie. It's bland, corporate garbage, the music sucks, and basically every scrapped idea and deleted scene is better than the final product. Emphasis on product because this isn't a movie. It's a product Disney made to sell King Magnifico Funko Pops and Star plushies. But I'm sure you probably already knew all that. I'm not exactly the first person to make a video like this, but after rewatching this movie recently with my aunt and her boyfriend, I just needed to get my thoughts and feelings out somehow, or I would explode. So please indulge me while I rant about all the wonderful ways this movie frustrates me on a personal level, as someone who really wanted to love it. So if you're watching this video, you've probably already seen Wish, so if you want to, feel free to skip this part using the timestamps in the pinned comment. Otherwise, let's begin. So it starts with a storybook opening, which is honestly the best looking part of the movie. Everything falls apart almost immediately after. We get Asha interacting with her grandfather, who is turning 100 years old. Wowee, that's crazy. I wonder if that's a reference to anything. Oh well. Then Asha runs out of their cabin and starts singing a song about the town, and it's just a recap of the storybook opening we got like 2 seconds ago. And also, right away, there is like no color in this movie. Every building is either white or gray, and if you're lucky, you'll get a little bit of blue and maybe some gold. And the characters are all like in desaturated colors. And there's nothing that pops. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, Asha gives a tour where she tells everyone how the king built the kingdom to keep the people safe, and when you turn 18, you can give him your wish to potentially be granted someday. Then afterwards, she runs into the castle kitchen, where we meet one of the only side characters who even remotely feels like a person, Asha's best friend, Dahlia. Asha freaks out, asking Dahlia for help preparing for an interview with the king to become his apprentice. An apprentice to a sorcerer. I wonder if that's a reference to anything. Anyway, while Dahlia's helping Asha, Dahlia finishes making a batch of cookies, which summons the other 6 teenagers, who are not really characters, if I'm being honest. They are allowed 1 character trait each, and maybe 2 or 3 lines if they're lucky. They don't exist to be fleshed out characters though, they're just a 7 Dwarves reference. One of them is shy, and one of them sneezes, and one of them is grumpy, and one of them is happy. You get the picture. Look me in the eyes and tell me their names without Googling it. What's this guy's name? Do you know her? You don't know? What do you mean you don't care? Don't you want to buy their Funko Pops? What do you mean you don't want to buy their merch? Consume our merch! Anyways, the grumpy one asks Asha if the reason she's trying to become the sorcerer's apprentice is because he'll be more likely to grant her wishes if she's close to him. Hey guys, did you know that when you turn 18, you get to give your wish to the king? Do you get it yet? They only explain it like 5 times in this movie. So I hope you get it by now. But if you don't worry, they'll say it later again. But anyway, Asha denies that she has any selfish reasoning for wanting to become the sorcerer's apprentice, but we never really get another explanation as to why she wants to do this. So, either she's a liar, or she just doesn't have a motivation. Either way is very likely. Then Grumpy makes fun of Sleepy for having depression after giving up his wish, and nobody defends him. What amazing friends! Afterwards, the queen shows up and takes Asha to the king's room, where she tells Asha that she's rooting for her because, she's seen how much Asha cares for others. Cool. Wish we could see that too, but it's fine. As any storyteller knows, tell don't show is exactly what you're supposed to do. Asha finally meets the king, and he's just a chill guy. Like, he's a little snarky at worst, and that's kind of it. But he's supposed to be the big bad villain, so Yeah. Anyway, Asha tells Magnifico about how her dad is dead, and Magnifico's like, yeah, I knew him, he liked stars and he was a philosopher. Oh, that's kind of interesting. The king knew Asha's father. That could really make the conflict between them, like, have some nuance, maybe. Or maybe there's, like, some hidden plot about how he killed her dad because, to, like, protect the kingdom, because he was, like, having dangerous ideas. I'm really looking forward to see what they do with this. They never mention this again. The king decides that Asha is worthy of his trust and shows her the wishes. And then they sing the least bad song in the movie, before Asha ruins the mood by asking Magnifico to grant her 100-year-old grandpa's wish. The king seems genuinely a bit hurt that this person he was starting to open up to immediately starts making requests, but he doesn't get angry or, like, immediately dismiss her. He just checks out the wish and to make sure that it's safe, but uh-oh, SpaghettiOs, the wish is too vague. He doesn't want to risk granting something as vague as inspire people, so he says no. Then Asha gets very angry and yells at him that he doesn't own other people's wishes, but, like, he does. People give him their wishes willingly. Like, he specifically says that the wishes are given to him willingly, and people come to the kingdom knowing that their wishes might not be granted. Magnifico isn't doing anything wrong. Sure, he's kind of paranoid, but wouldn't you be if your entire homeland and family was destroyed? Like, anyway. Then Magnifico's kind of petty and tells Asha that he'll never grant her grandpa's wish, and it's treated like this big epic villain moment when, no, we already knew that. He said that he wasn't going to grant it earlier. Plus, he also still promises to continue protecting the wishes, including her grandfather's wish and her mom's. So, like, yeah, he's so evil, guys, we promise. Anyway, afterwards, Asha's family is sad because they don't get any wishes granted, but then the grandpa tells Asha that he doesn't want to know what his wish is, and that makes Asha sad. So she runs away to sing her I Want song, when she accidentally summons the marketable plushie lovable iconic character Star. Then Star does the worst thing that he could have possibly done and gives Asha's goat a voice. He's talking. He is talking. Ha! Who knew his voice would be this low? And then we get the worst song in the movie, with lyrics like, here's a fun little allegory that gets me excitatory, and we're here for all your question marks, and who could forget, watch out world, here I are. This song is nothing. It makes me feel like there are ants underneath my skin, and they are crawling. Please don't make me listen to this again. Please, Disney, I'm begging you, free my family. I don't want to listen. Asha and the Star plan to steal the wishes from the king, who is currently spiraling into paranoia after Star being summoned caused a bright flash of light that he didn't understand. He assumed it was a threat and goes to his people to ask for help finding out who or what is coming, but they all just start whining about wanting more wishes. He gets understandably frustrated and agrees to grant the wish of whoever helps him. Then he sings a very cool and epic villain song with such fire bars like, are you sure that you're not the prob? And, I let you live here for free, and I don't even charge you rent. This is a classic Disney villain song, guys, I promise. But then he opens the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness Book of Evil that makes you evil, and he becomes evil because we need the villain to start being a villain. Then Asha tells her 7 dwarf friends that she has a magical star friend, and whoops, the depressed one snitches, and the king grants his wish to be a knight. But whoops, the king is super evil now, and he turns him into an evil knight. That's crazy. And while all this is happening, Asha notices that the queen is sad, and recruits her to the team, and they all make a plan to steal the wishes. Uh-oh, the king knew about the plans somehow, and traps Star in a giant bubble with all the wishes, and everyone is super scared. Magnifico is so intimidating, ooh. and then he zaps his wife because he's evil now, and he goes into a bunch of mirrors to do a Snow White reference. And then he also traps all the people with thorns to do a Sleeping Beauty reference. Then Asha sings, and it makes everyone else sing, and the king gets trapped in his staff because friendship is magic. Then everyone gets their wishes returned, and Asha becomes the fairy godmother, and Star makes Disney World fireworks, and everyone is happy. Yippee! The end. The music in Wish is good, if you ignore the lyrics. Wish is full of gems. Just pick your poison. There's Welcome to Rosas, which is completely pointless because all of the information it shares was explained right before it and gets re-explained right afterwards. At All Costs is one of the less bad songs, and it's genuinely very sweet and pleasant to listen to, but within the movie, it just feels kind of weird. Originally, it was meant to be a love song between Asha and the Star, who was initially designed to be a shape-shifting magical boy. Cool. Unfortunately, they cut the romance but left the love song in, but this time had Asha and Magnifico sing it to the wishes. I rewatched this movie with my aunt and her boyfriend, and they were really confused by this part, and they thought it was setting up a romance between Asha and Magnifico. And it's understandable why they thought that, since the writers left the song almost exactly the same as when it was a love song, and they only replaced Love You As One Does to be Promise As One Does. Like, it's still just a love song, and it's just kind of weird. Anyway, this wish is fine, but there's so many weird lyrics. My favorite is, throw caution to every warning sign. What does that mean? The phrase is throw caution to the wind, which means caution gets blown away. But throwing caution to a warning sign implies that you are being cautious, so it doesn't... It's stupid. Oh, and then we get the most delightful song, You're a Star, the song about being stars. This is easily the worst song lyrically. I don't like saying that something is made by AI just because it's bad, because bad art can be made by humans. Like, I've made bad art. Like, I'm pretty sure every artist has made bad stuff. But this song, it just... I don't know how a human being could write every lyric in the song to be stupid. Like, I'm sure the songwriters are very talented, but I don't know how this song exists. Here are some highlights. We eat the leaves and we eat the sun, so that's where all the balls of gas come from. And we're here for all your question marks. You look like you're hanging on by a strand, but if you just see the mushrooms, you'll understand. And when it comes to the universe, we're all shareholders. Get that through your system. Solar. We are our own origin story. What the heck are you saying? What do you mean? Are you... what? And then we get the second worst song. This is the thanks I get. I can't help it if mirrors love my face. It's genetics. Yeah, I got these genes from outer space. What does that mean? Okay, so before this song, Magnifico is never shown to be vain, but the opening line is about how he's hot. What? Also, what do you mean you got your genes from outer space? Are you a star? Watch out world, here you are? I clean up all your messes, and I'm always there when you need to vent Among Us. Oh, and I can't forget the chorus. This is the thanks I get. Do 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 do. This is the thanks I get. Do 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 do. This is the thanks I get. Do 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 do. This is a classic Disney villain song, guys. Hellfire wishes it was this epic. Knowing what I know now is fine, but again, the lyrics are weird. Queen Amaya has a solo part in this song, which she absolutely kills. Her vocal performance is so good that it almost convinces you that the song is good, but when you pay attention to the lyrics, it just makes no sense. I've seen too many bad things that I can't keep count. Babe? He turned evil like a few hours ago. You only saw him do like 3 bad things. What do you mean you can't keep count of it? Then there's This Wish reprise, which is just This Wish, but everyone sings it. I don't have anything to say about it. It's just the same song, but everybody else sings it. Yeah. The performers do a really amazing job. Like, I don't know about their lyrics, but their singing is phenomenal. Like, the singing is so good that if I turn my brain off and I don't listen to the lyrics, I can convince myself that these songs are good. But this is a musical. You know, a musical is supposed to tell its story through the songs, so the lyrics are kind of important. You can't just make a catchy song and then hope that nobody pays attention to the lyrics with a musical. 'Cause, like, it's incoherent. And I don't like it. It's so bad. Asha is boring. I mean, she's fine, I guess, but like, she's kind of just there. Why did she want to be Magnifico's apprentice? Don't think about it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Also, so I don't really mind quirky or like adorable characters, but it makes no sense for Asha to be this way. Like, she has a huge friend group, and she works as a tour guide. How the heck is she so socially inept and awkward? She's one of the most socialized Disney ladies of all time, but she acts like Rapunzel, who has never interacted with a human being outside of her mom. It just bugs me. And speaking of her friends, they are not people. They are set dressing that sometimes talks and sings. They are the ensemble cast of a musical, not a group of friends that are meant to be important characters. We never learn anything about them outside of their assigned 7 dwarf trait. In knowing what I know now, Bashful sings a line about, like, once was sweet but now I'm something else. Good for you, honey. Who are you? What are you talking about? Dahlia is like the only friend character who feels like a character. Sleepy is kind of interesting. He has potential to be like an interesting character, but all he does is be depressed, get bullied for being depressed, and then betray Asha. Gabbo's just a dick. I want to throw this little shit out a window. I hate him. Asha's family exists just to give her motivations. Grandpa's just an old guy, and he's turning 100 purely because Disney was turning 100 when the movie was coming out, and they thought it was cool. And a good movie that could have been cool, but in here it's just another reference. And then there's the mom. And the mom is Asha's mom. Her wish gets destroyed, and we never find out what it was. Not even when it gets restored at the end. Like, we know nothing about Asha's mom, other than that she's alive and she's a mom. Great. Asha's dad is dead because it's a Disney movie, and it's illegal to have all of your family members be alive, unless you're Aurora or Rapunzel. As far as I know, there might be others, I don't care. Magnifico says that he knew him, and that he was a philosopher who was always looking to the stars, and Asha mentions that her dad, like, taught her to look up to the stars and, like, just keep wishing and stuff. And it feels like it's supposed to be important, it feels like it's setting something up, but Asha's father and Magnifico's relationship to him is never mentioned again. Asha also has a goat. I wish she didn't, though. He exists for no reason other than to be the animal sidekick. I adore Alan Tudyk. He is an incredibly talented man. His performance as King Candy, specifically in Wreck-It Ralph, phenomenal. incredibly talented man. But he should not have played the goat. The "who knew my voice would be this low" gag is not funny, at least not to me. He just shouldn't talk. Everything he says is annoying. The only good thing I have to say about the goat is at least they never do a screaming goat joke. I applaud their restraint. That's the only good thing I can say about him. The queen is barely a character. Like, she was originally going to be evil too. And she and Magnifico would have been like evil Gomez and Morticia, just madly in love and like evil. And that would have been so good. But no! They made her a good guy. And she has like 5 lines, tops, and a good part in one song. I don't know why they cut her being a villain only to do nothing with her. It's just dumb. Also, Star isn't a character, he's just a plushie. Okay, next section. Magnifico is not a traditional Disney villain. Disney was lying to us. He is a complicated person dealing with extreme paranoia due to the trauma of his home and family being destroyed when he was younger. The writers realized about halfway through that he wasn't evil at all, and they made him use the unexplained evil book to make him evil for real. But like, he's still not evil. Like, the movie explicitly says that the book is making him evil. He's being possessed by the evil magic from the book. It's not him. The evil is the book, not him. And like, after he's defeated and put into the mirror, he seems like he's back to normal, and he's relieved to see his wife, only to be sent to the dungeons, and nobody to even question what happened. Excuse me? Disney, you freaking cowards, just make him evil. Get rid of the book, don't make him so sympathetic and understandable, and just let him be a monster. In my opinion, Disney genuinely made an actually complicated character only to shoot him with the evil gun so that they could pretend they weren't lying when they said that they made that he'd be a classic Disney villain. But he's not. He's just not. He's not Maleficent. He's not Frollo. He's Scarlet Witch from Marvel. And I wouldn't even mind this so much if they hadn't advertised him as a return to form for Disney villains, because he's not. They needed to either commit to having him be pure evil, or to having him be sympathetic and redeemable, because currently, this is just a poorly executed Jekyll and Hyde thing, where he starts off good, and then some magical thing happens to make him completely opposite of how he was before. This section is going to be pretty short. It's pretty straightforward. The art style of this movie is a choice. Not a good choice, but it's a choice. It looks like Sophia the First with a slightly higher budget. There's no textures on anything, and it doesn't look like, okay, so the creators wanted it to look like a storybook, but it doesn't look like a storybook, it just looks unfinished. The fact that this was originally supposed to be a traditionally hand-animated movie, but then they were just like, no, it's too hard. It disgusts me, honestly, and I hate it. I'm not saying that having beautiful animation would have saved the movie, but at least there would be some redeeming quality to it. And I don't know why they're so allergic to color in this movie. Everything is so desaturated. If you're lucky, you'll get some pops of pink, and maybe some blue, and when Magnifico turns evil, he gets green, because green is the Disney villain color. But for the most part, everything is just, desaturated and, gray. If it felt intentional, and they only had, the king's castle be, gray and colorless to show that he's, there's something off with him, and then, the rest of the town was colorful, then I think that would have worked a lot better. But every location in this is just, there's color, but it's, desaturated color. You know what I mean? It's not it's it's not bright. There's no vibrance to it. It doesn't feel like it's alive, which is just so painfully disappointing. I remember seeing the announcement for this movie a while ago, and it said, like, ooh, this is gonna be Disney's first traditionally animated movie in a long time, and I was like, yeah! I'm so excited for this movie. But then it was changed to 3D, and I was disappointed, but I was like, oh, it's probably still gonna be good. I'm sure it'll be good. And then we got the trailer, and everyone was saying, this movie looks like doo-doo poop, feces, and I was like, yeah, it doesn't look great, but I'm sure it's just because it's a trailer. I'm sure it's gonna look a lot better when it's done. And it didn't, and I looked stupid. But yeah, I don't know why Disney is so allergic to color. Like even in their live action movies, they're just, everything is desaturated and like gray and like lifeless. I don't know why they're doing this. Is it to make it seem more mature? I don't understand. Whatever. So, I'm not a writer, and I would never claim to be one, but I still wanted to take a crack at making my own version of Wish, just because I hate this movie. So please indulge me while I tell you my idea for Wish. Asha is the princess, daughter of Magnifico and Amaya. She is a reserved, slightly timid, but kind and curious person, and she secretly longs for danger and adventure despite being nervous and having such a high position. Her mentor, or her grandpa, I haven't decided yet, encourages this curiosity, telling her fairy tales, and specifically one about wishing stars. Her parents, however, discourage this, believing that they are the only ones who should have magic and be able to grant wishes. They claim that this is for the good of the kingdom, to protect from danger, but in reality, it's because they get power from the wishes and don't want to lose it. Asha eventually finds out the truth. I would guess that it would be, like, probably when she's turning 18, because then she'd be an adult, and her parents would probably want to, like, start teaching her things, so that she'll be prepared to take over the throne when it's her time to. But Asha would understandably be very upset about finding out that her parents are evil, and she would run away, and in her desperation, she would remember the fairy tales that her grandfather would tell her, and when she feels like she doesn't have any hope, she wishes on a star, and shaboom! Gorgeous star spirits shoots down from the sky and lands right in front of her. She's really excited, because this is her first time being on Earth, and this is the first time that anybody's wished on her. Asha is understandably like, what is happening? And the Star Lady explains how she is one in a line of magical beings who come to Earth to spread hope. I'm imagining her kind of being like the ghost of Christmas Present, if that makes sense. So Asha and the Star Woman are kind of like on the run, because Asha doesn't want to go back to her parents, because she doesn't want to confront them about being evil. So they start to explore the kingdom joy and like life in their eyes. And Asha, who's been sheltered her whole life, realizes how horrible the state of the kingdom is. The people who've given up their wishes are hopeless, just moving about their lives, but they don't complain about anything, they're just kind of existing. Because once you lose your wish, once you lose all hope, there's not really much you can do. The people are just apathetic, and they don't seem to fully realize what they've lost, because they don't have the energy to care anymore. So Star and Asha make up their minds to fix everything. And meanwhile, Magnifico and Amaya are being evil and hot together, plotting how to find their daughter and steal Star's magic. They'd probably sing their villain song here, something about maybe like how they're great parents, or maybe something about how they'll never stop until they have all the magic and the wishes in the world, or just something like that. Like some evil duet thing. I think that'd be really cool. But anyway, the kingdom's a trap, basically. It's like a honeypot. You go for the chance at getting your wishes granted and having a safe place to live, only to end up exploited and depressed, and just kind of stuck. Just like young artists who go to work at Disney. Asha and Star could meet a rebellion of young people who've realized what the kingdom is and haven't given up their wishes yet, and they would team up to stop the king and queen. Asha plans to distract her parents while Star and the rebels free the wishes and anyone who was imprisoned for questioning the royals. But Asha is a terrible liar, and she's still not quite confident enough to stand up for herself against her parents. And Magnifico and Amaya pretty easily realize that something is wrong, and they end up capturing the rebels while Star tries really hard to fight back. But she's not quite strong enough to fight against two people at once, until Asha helps by standing up to her parents and using their own magic against them. Somehow, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm thinking something kind of like how Jafar is defeated in Aladdin, if that makes sense. And her parents would either die or get trapped somewhere. I think the magic mirror idea from the original is a pretty good one, honestly. It's just that it doesn't make sense for Magnifico in the movie. But yeah, everyone celebrates, and everyone gets their wishes and hope back. Life is returned to the kingdom, and everyone is happy. But as the sun begins to rise, Star fades. Asha cries, "You can't leave! I love you!" Then Star cups Asha's face in her hands, pressing their foreheads together. "I will always be with you. As long as you have hope, as long as you follow your wishes, I will be with you." And then they kiss, just as Star fades with the light of day, and Asha smiles up at the sky as Star fades into sparkles and floats away. So yeah, that was my attempt. It's a bit corny, and it's not super original, but I like it. I think it's cute. Well, that was everything I wanted to say about Wish. This movie is it gets worse every time I watch it, especially since this was meant to celebrate 100 years of Disney. Instead, it's just a hollow film with bland characters, and it just doesn't stand for anything. The only thing it's good for is serving as a cautionary tale against corporate meddling. Let creative people create. That's how you make a movie that people care about. The best part of this movie is the Great Mouse Detective in the credits, unironically. That's the only part of this movie that made me feel anything but frustration and disappointment. If you want to watch a good musical with a unique art style, wonderful characters, a beautiful message, where the creatives were actually allowed to cook, then watch K-Pop Demon Hunters. Have a great night, day, or whatever time it is where you are. Cheers!